come to order. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Gail Schick,
Present.
Victor Talon,
Present.
Doug Dennison,
Present.
Kelly Hall, Jerry Bushelman,
Present.
Daniel Foreman,
Present.
Tim Riddick,
Present.
Uh-huh.
Maybe. Maybe.
First item on tonight's agenda is the review of the agenda itself by the Planning Commission for any new items or changes to the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move we accept the agenda as written. Second. Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Talon, seconded by Commissioner Bushelman, that we accept the agenda as presented. Those in favor of the motion will vote yes. Those opposed, vote no. And motion carries unanimously. Next item is public invited to be heard. If there is anyone in the audience who has an item that they wish to present to the commission tonight that is not on tonight's agenda, now, excuse me, now is the time to do so. If you do have something, if you come to the podium, give us your name and address, and you'll have a 3-minute time limit to provide your information to the commission. Does anybody wish to step forward? Okay, we'll keep moving on. Next item is consent calendar. This evening's consent calendar consists of the approval of the minutes of the August 7th, 2019 and the August 21st, 2019 meetings.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the consent calendar for August 7th and August 21st, 2019.
Second.
Mr. Foreman, have a second? Yep. It's been moved by Commissioner Talon, seconded by Commissioner Foreman, that we approve the consent calendar as presented. Those in favor of the motion will vote yes. Those opposed, vote no. We'll now go into our board action items, and the motion carried unanimously, by the way. Now go into our board action items, and we'll close our regular meeting, open up a public hearing for final major subdivision of Water Valley South Subdivision 27th filing. And Scott, you're looking real good tonight.
Thank you. Hair grew a little bit.
Okay.
Carolyn, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This item before you is a major subdivision. The preliminary subdivision was before you in April. This final subdivision is consistent with the preliminary that was approved by Planning Commission. This has been reviewed in accordance with Chapter 17, Article 4 of the Municipal Code regarding the major subdivision process and procedure. The site is located east of 7th Street, north of New Liberty Road, just northeast of the new roundabout. This site is zoned residential mixed use, which allows for a variety of residential mixed use as well as some commercial uses. A little bit of background on this property. This originally had a master plan for up to 226 dwelling units. It was planned for multifamily condominiums at one point on the 19.68 acres. The applicant has proposed reducing this density to 70 patio home lots on 6.64 acres. There's 7.8 acres of common area, including landscape open space, the drives and utility corridors, and then the overall plat consists of 17.33 acres. This shows the layout here. This is generally consistent with the preliminary subdivision that you approved in April. These are planned for low maintenance lots. What you see here generally pad sites or building envelopes with common area surrounding, and they do abut the lake here. The The subdivision is consistent with Chapter 5B Growth Framework and Chapter 5C Residential Areas Framework of the town's comprehensive plan. There was a neighborhood meeting that was held March 27th of this year. There was at least one neighbor that attended that had general questions about the density. As you can see here in the greenish yellow color, those are the properties that were notified for both the neighborhood meeting and for this public hearing. This hearing item will be heard by the town board on September 23rd, this coming Monday. And staff is recommending that the Planning Commission forward to the town board a recommendation of approval of the final major subdivision as presented, subject to all remaining Planning Commission comments being addressed, staff comments being addressed, and the development agreement being executed. We do have a draft that we've been working on, and it's close to completion. Staff is requesting that the following be entered into the record: the application, supplemental materials, staff memorandum, supporting documents, and the recommendation. And just as a reminder, these are the items for consideration for a major subdivision. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, and the applicant indicated that he has some slides to share as well.
Thanks, Garland. Since this is the public hearing portion of the process, is there anybody in the audience who has any questions, comments they want to provide? If not, we'll take the information from the applicant.
Thank you, Chairperson and Commissioners. My name is Brian Williamson. I'm with TST Consulting Engineers. We are the planner and engineer for the project. Carlin did a great job in giving you the overall, basically the entire gist of the project. We got a couple pretty pictures I'm going to flash in front of you, and then I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. This is the rendering similar to the landscape plan that Carlin showed you. The only differences that we have between the preliminary plan and the final plan really is that we included the roundabout up there at New Liberty and 7th, and you can see kind of a representation of that in the rendering. And then we've changed the access that comes out onto 7th. That's called Paddleboard Drive to a 3/4 movement. There will be a little work in 7th Street putting that island in to make sure that it remains 3/4 and nobody kind of makes that southbound turn coming out of the development. Same statistics that Carlin went over. You have 46% open space. The lots make up about 38%. This is a little different than the traditional subdivision, so we did at the bottom of the slide do a lot comparison table similar to what we showed you at the preliminary, just showing that the density matches what it would be in the traditional 6,000 square foot lot, just with a higher lot coverage in that scenario, 56% in the more traditional 6,000 square foot lot, 38% in what we're proposing. This is a sample floor plan of the small lots. So those are the interior lots, not the lots that front on the lake. And you can see that it's a front-loaded garage, with a dining living room area, first floor master bath with a second floor that has a second bedroom and a media room. And then that diagram all the way on the left shows kind of how it fits on the building envelope. We have tried to leave plenty of space between these building envelopes to leave a little bit of flexibility inside the building envelope and then between the building envelopes to make sure that we get that 10 feet of separation building to building. We're showing about 14 feet planned building to building, so that gives a little bit of wiggle room on both sides. That if there's any modifications or if the house is just staked a little bit incorrectly, we're not going to be violating that 10-foot setback. These are some elevations of that same small lot elevation with some sample images of kind of what the inspiration for these was. Kind of have a blend of a modern look with the farmhouse kind of traditional look. This is a sample for the large lot plan. So you can see just a little bigger footprint, master bedroom pushed all the way into the back, so you get those lake views coming out of that master bedroom with a large outdoor space right adjacent to the master bedroom. Second floor, same thing, one bedroom, a media room, and then there's probably going to be some outdoor space on that second floor. And again, all the way at the left shows how that lot fits in the building envelope. A couple of renderings of what those might look like. All these renderings are kind of in current development. There'll be a fair amount of infrastructure to be put in before we pull in the first building permit, so still kind of work through the details of what the buildings are going to look like. And there's the rendering again. And again, I'm here to answer any questions you might have. Also, Justin Donahue from Juma Homes is here if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Any comments, questions from the commission for the applicant?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second. It's been moved by Commissioner Talon, seconded by Commissioner Dennison, that we close the public hearing. Those in favor of the motion will vote yes. Those opposed, vote no. Motion carries unanimously. We will reconvene our regular meeting, moving on to the next agenda item, which is a recommendation to the town board for the final major subdivision, Water Valley South Subdivision 27th final. Harlan, anything further?
I have nothing further to add.
Mr. Chair, I move that we forward to the town board a recommendation of approval of the final major subdivision as presented by staff, following if there's any other staff comments or from the planning commission to be addressed, and the development agreement being executed before that agreement being executed.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Talon, seconded by Commissioner Foreman, that we forward a recommendation of approval of the final major subdivision as presented by staff, subject to the issues that they identified being addressed and the development agreement being executed. Those in favor of the motion will vote yes. Those opposed, vote no. And the motion carries unanimously. Communication from Planning Commission. Mr. Reddick, you have anything?
No.
Mr. Foreman?
Nothing.
Jerry?
Nothing tonight.
Mr. Talon?
No communications.
Ms. Hall? Mr. Dennison?
Nothing, thank you.
Communication from our town board liaison, who isn't here. Guess we can whip through that one. Communication from staff. Carla?
So we have 3 members from staff, including Scott, that are at the APA conference this week. So hopefully at the next meeting, they can give you an update on how that all went.
That'll be interesting to see if they put the Talon rule in effect yet.
And we also have a new senior planner. He started last Monday.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully at our next meeting, we can do some introductions. He's at APA conference as well.
That's good. Okay. Is that it?
That's it.
Move to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Oh, yeah.
7:13.
No, I had one like 7:00 or something.